Guys, in today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to animate this website. So this animation is basically called a parallel scrolling. So I'll be teaching you how to achieve this kind of animation for your website. As you can see, there's a sticky nav at the top. Let me start it from the beginning. So this fades in. So when you scroll, you can see the navigation is stick to this particular place. So even if the user is going to a different place of the website, they can still navigate to other pages. So let's dive into the tutorial, guys. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to create a new frame. So the main purpose of creating this new frame is we want to break down different sections of our design. So just be with me, you understand what I mean. So the first section we're going to take from this, we're going to take this first section. We'll start with the nav. So copy it, paste it here. But just be with me, you understand what I mean. So copy the whole of this. So let me put this, but and carry them at once. So I'm going to do the same for this. So I'm basically going to group the whole of this. If I group this, I'll copy. I'm going to paste it here. I'll do the same for this. I'll copy and paste it here. So the main reason why we're making use of the design is that we don't want to go into designing this landing page from scratch. So I already use a design. I decided to use a design that was already carved out. So we're just focused on the animation here. So the first thing we're going to do, we want to animate this first section. So I'm going to duplicate this. So for the animation, one basic thing to have in mind when animating is that you have to make sure your animation is purposeful. So the first thing we're going to do here is to make sure we want our navigation to stick at the top. So, but though this is, we're not going to scroll in this first section, but we just want to make sure we have a sticky nav, so that when we're coming up with other screens for this prototype, while navigation is just going to be sticked at the top, it's not going to disappear. So just be with me, you understand. So I'll click on this clip content, so it will make my navigation to be stick at the top. So I'm also going to do the same for this. So I'll make it stick at the top. So the one of the things I want to achieve with this is I want this to fade in once the website is being, because right now we want to like imagine if, for example, a user is coming to this website for the first time, what kind of animation do you want them to see? Because most time when they come to the website the first time, the kind of presentation animation and give to them actually makes them to have this kind of wow feeling, make them feel welcome to the website. So I'm also going to make sure I bring my navigation to the top, because if I don't do this during the animation, when this is being prototyped, this is going to be on top. So I don't want that to happen. So I'll make sure I bring my navigation to the top. So this is my nav here. So I'm going to bring it upward. So I will also, okay, I will just copy this and replace, and also we do this for this one. So I'll just copy and paste this. So I'm going to move this upward. So I'm going to move this upward because I want it to fade in. So I'll move this. Okay, let me move this upward a bit. I don't want it to go far from its normal position. So let me just move it upward. So this, I'm going to take this to hide inside the frame. So you can see I'm using my arrow key to send it inside the frame. So I'll give this an opacity of 0. I'll also do the same for this. So same for this. I'm also giving this an opacity of 0. So for this one, I'll also give an opacity of 0 because there's a particular fill I want to achieve. So just be with me, you understand. So we're going to leave this at this. So let's prototype this first one to see what we have. So I'll prototype this, and this is just basically going to be on drag. We're going to make use of on drag. Okay, let's make use of after delay instead. To make use of after delay, we'll make this 1 millisecond and leave this at 1000 milliseconds. So let's preview to see what we have. You can see this fades on and this moves in slowly. So our website is beginning to have life. So let me do it again. So while we have achieved that, so we're going to move on to the next section. So for this next section, we want to bring in this design. So I'm basically going to copy this. I'll copy this and paste it inside this one. So just be with me, you understand. So I'm pasting it inside here and giving it an opacity of 0 because there's a particular field I want to achieve with this. So I'll bring the frame back to its normal size. So I'll also duplicate this. And I'm going to also move this. I have to make sure that my navigation is always on top because of the sticky navbar effect I want to have. So I want to bring this upwards, so I'm going to move this up a bit. So just be with me, you understand what I want to achieve. So I'm moving this upward. So while moving this upward, so I'm going to bring in the dashboard. So I'm bringing in the dashboard. So I'll give it an opacity of 100 so that I can see what I'm doing. So I'm bringing this upward a bit. I'm bringing this upward. So I'll move this upward. Okay. Bring this up. Well, then move this up. Okay, and bring this down. So I'm going to give this. Alright, just be with me. You understand what I'm doing. So I'll give this an opacity of 0. I'm going to give it an opacity of 0. So this is going to. So I basically want this top to fade out. So I'll give this opacity of 0. Also for this, I'll give this an opacity of 0. I'm basically giving the designs, the text and the card, basically giving this 1, 2, 3 opacity of 0, because once the user is trying to scroll to see this dashboard, there are some elements that are going to fade out because the area of focus have changed. So that's basically why I'm doing this. So just be with me, you understand. So I'm also going to duplicate this. So I'm duplicating this. So this is when the user has scrolled to see some part of the dashboard. The user is basically scrolling. So before I take that button up, so that it won't be difficult for me to give it an opacity, so I'll just click these two and give it an opacity of 0, so that there'll be no need for me to start looking for it here. So I'll move this upward. So moving this upward. So here is going to lead us to the next section, which is this card. So we're going to stop here for this tutorial. So we'll have this next section. So I'll copy this and I'm going to paste it here also, just like what we did for this card. So I'll paste it here and I'm going to bring it upward. So we're basically, whenever I want to enter a new, for example, when we wanted this, the next stage after this is the place where the users go to see this dashboard. We'll make sure that the dashboard is here because we're making use of smart animate. Remember, smart animate always make use of matching layers. So we want to make sure that the layers are matching, because this is actually going to help us in our prototype. If, for example, this dashboard is not here and it's not here, because remember we put this dashboard here, we place the dashboard here and we give it an opacity of 0. So that's why the animation was done smoothly by smart animate. So when being animated, so for example, if this dashboard is not here, the animation is not going to be right. So that's why we make sure for this now. This is the next section the user is going to see. We're putting it here and we're going to give it an opacity of 0, just like what we did for the former one. So let me quickly do it here. I'll give it an opacity of 0. So I'll make sure this is matching. So I'll drag this again. So I'll drag this again. So I'll move this. So remember to always put our nav bar at the top. So this and this, remember. So I'll carry this up. And remember, this is when the user is scrolling to see other parts of the first dashboard. So I'm moving this upward. Okay. So I'm moving this upward. So I need to make some adjustments. Okay, I want to give this an opacity of 100 so that I can see the text. Okay, so I'll move this closer a bit and I will resize my frame to the size of other ones. Okay, so let me move this upwards again. So basically when the user is scrolling, so the user has come to this part. So then we're also going to duplicate this. So start duplicating this. We'll move this upward too. So before I forget, let me quickly give this dashboard an opacity of 0, because this is the time it fades out. Remember, our area of focus has changed, so that's why it's fading out. So I want to make sure these letters here, they fade in. I don't just want it to be static, so I'm going to do some adjustment here. So this is the section where we have those two first texts. So I'll shift it down a bit because I just want it to slide in. So I'll shift it down a bit, and that will be that for this. And I'll also, so let me move this upward. So I'll move this upward. So I'll duplicate this. So the next thing that is going to come when the user scroll is the card. So for the card, So let me just scoot this or move this upward so that you can see. So this, I'm going to give it an opacity of 0. So I'll move this upward. So I'll move this upward. So I want to animate this card. I want this card to come in different timing. So what I'm going to do, so these are the cards here. As you can see, these are the 3 cards. So what I'm going to do, this center one, I'm going to move it downward so that when it's coming into this place, it's going to slide in. So I just want it to have this kind of feel. I don't want it to be static, so just moving this one downward. Let me move it down a bit, moving this down a bit. The same for this first one. I'm moving it down. So move this down. We'll give this 3. Moving them down. So I'm also going to give them an opacity of 0 because that's also going to help for the animation to come in smoothly. So I'll also duplicate this. So I'll duplicate this, then I'll move this upward. If I move this upward, I'm going to make sure click here. So for this, I'll make sure these 2 texts fade out because the area of focus has changed. So slide it upward, bring it upward for the user to see the full card. So let's animate, let's prototype now. Let's animate our layers. So this, we've already done this for this first one. This was after delay. So this one we're going to use on drag for this. So because when the user scroll from here to here, we use on drag. When they scroll from here to here, we want it to slide in, so we can make it to be 2000 milliseconds so that it can move in slowly. So we're also going to do the same for this one, for the next one. So it's basically going to be on drag also. On drag, smart limit 1000 milliseconds, and we'll do the same for this one. On drag, smart limit 1000. I'll also do the same for this one. Drag. It's going to be on drop. So finally, the last one is going to be on drag. So let's preview to see what we have. Well, let's face on, and we drag, this moves, and we drag again, this moves, and we drag again, this moves. So this is just like giving our design a realistic feel. So you can show this to a stakeholder for them to see how the website is going to be when it's being coded. So instead of just giving them a static design, so prototyping your work actually gives the stakeholder, the project owner, for them to have a clearer vision of how the project is going to be when being coded. So that's just basically one advantage of prototyping your work. It actually gives it more life. So we can take this further by just doing a little animation to the buttons. So I'm just basically going to draw a frame. So draw a frame. So I'll copy this button. So we're just going to touch only the nav bar. We'll touch only the nav bar. I'll only do it for this one so that I can see what I mean. So I'll paste this. I'll place this button here. So I'll make this a component. So just do with me, you understand. I'll right click and also make this a variant. So this first one, by default, I want my button to be without shadow. So I want this, I'll prototype this. So when the user hover on this button, while hovering, is going to change to, so I will just make this instant instead. It's going to change to this. So basically, animating buttons, and when you want to prototype your button, so it's better you do it this way, because the former method I was always doing when I started that was to copy the whole frame, then change the state of another frame, like to copy this whole frame, change the state of the second frame, so that process is basically long. But with the help of components and variants, it makes things very easy, very easy. So let me do it again for this so that you understand how to do it. So I'll copy this button and make it I'll make it a component and also create an extra variant. So I'll just make this a component. So I'll right click on this to add a variant. So basically what I did for the first one, that's what I'm going to do that for this. So then I'm also going to prototype. When the user hover on this, while hovering, it moves to this one instantly. So for me to see my component, I'll go to my asset and I'm going to see my component. So this my component. So I'll drag it here. So I'll just copy this. I'll do this for only the first frame so that I can see what I mean by doing button animation this way. You can decide not to just do this process of doing your component and variant. It cannot just only be for, it can be used for button alone. You can use it for different elements. So I'll copy on this one and replace it with this one. So let's view our prototype to see what we have. So this is our animation. So when the user hover on this, you can see it's changing. Same with this. When they hover on this, it's changing. So that's it for this tutorial, guys. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to share this video, don't forget to subscribe so to get notified whenever I post new videos on UI animation. So thank you so much, guys. Bye.